So in terms of the learnings, just to kick us off today, and if you just rewrite down, if you didn't write down before, the theme for Entrepreneur Summit 2025 is all around planning. All right, remember I said the quarter for what? Planning. And a great flip chart that I want to present here is called the strategic map. What's it called, everyone? Strategic map. And this is a flip chart. Some other flip charts that we do, we'll see and we'll pay homage to whoever created it. This particular flip chart, yours truly created about 5 years ago. And the flip chart, where it came from was someone asked me, Bruce, in your businesses or when you're coaching a business, how do you go about, how do you think and coach that? Like, what are the kind of the steps that you go through when you're coaching a business? And I went, oh, well, look, I'll just go off and do a flip chart and hopefully a nice, simple explanation of it is a good way to do it. So we're going to go through that now. So up at the top right, what I'd like you to do, please, is to write down this word there being what? Nice and loud. Outcomes. All right? What's the outcomes that I want to achieve? And if you think about this, different people in the room have different outcomes. Some people are in here maybe wanting to have outcomes on time. They want to go from 50 hours a week to 30 hours a week, right? Some people here are saying, I want to grow my net from, $200,000 to $1 million. Whatever that is for you, people have got different outcomes. And I think the first one that we got to get clear on, which I'm going to put on the top of this box, and I'd like you to do as well, is we need to get clear on our dreams. We need to get clear on what, everyone? Dreams. So when I got into the personal development world about 20 odd years ago, 21 to be precise, no one had ever asked me about, well, what are my dreams? My parents, I might add, were highly encouraging of go chasing them, but no one ever actually asked, please write this down, well, what are they? To define your dreams. And for me, and ever since I got asked about, well, define them, what are they? It brought me freedom. Please write that down. It allowed me to go, hey, there is no cap. I can create the life that I want, but to start with, I need to be clear of documenting, well, what are they? Raise your hand in EBS, especially the people that have been in the coaching for a while, if you also experience more freedom by being able to do that and describe them and share them with other people. Raise your hand if that's been a good part of being in EBS, right? A lot of people got a hand up, right? So here's a good word. Please write this one down. It gives yourself permission to dream. Gives myself what? Permission. Now, in the society that we live in, are dreams spoken about? Are dreams encouraged in just general society? Yes or no? Yes or no? No. So around your table, let's just discuss what are some of the cultural reasoning of why people don't get behind people's dreams. Why is that? Right? Like, where does that come from? So around your table, it doesn't need to be around everyone. Everyone's just going to randomly put in, your 2 bob on this. And I'd like you to let's come up with a list of some of the reasons why dreams aren't encouraged in general society. Wherever you come from, I might add. Okay, so on your table, this will be just 3 minutes, throw it all into one, come up with a list. And the person that's just going to kick off proceedings on your table is the person with the greyest amount of hair. Coming on back, I'm just doing a little bit of popcorn, call out the answer. You're going to have to make it loud so that I can hear it. I'll repeat it. What were a couple of the bullet point reasons that you came up with on your table? This side, was it? Generational bias. I like that, right? So by that you mean, Siobhan, give me a little bit more. I think I know what you mean. But what my mum and dad did came then on to me, and vice versa, and so on and so on. Good. So family. What else? Judgment. Please write that one down. So if I'm seen to be doing something, I'm going to get judged. All right, cool. Give me a couple others this side of the room over here. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, so it's their comfort zone. It's got nothing to do with mine. There was a tall poppy somewhere in there. Smithy. Right? And sometimes, I would say, I'm looking at Smithy there living up in Longreach, northwest Queensland. Sometimes the tall poppy, I think, is even sometimes higher in regional. Like the smaller the town, I think it kind of gets, you can get lost in a big city. Sometimes it's a bit harder when you're in more of a regional. Raise your hand on my regional who'd agree with that. Okay, good. Give me a couple others. Yes, sir. Yeah, one day I'll get to go into Europe or to whatever, right? So I'll put it off. And the amount of people that have a regret because they left it one day and that one day didn't turn up because of illness or we never got there or etc. is huge. So I agree with that. Yes, sir. Can't hear you. Apathy. Yeah, so, I'll just be lazy old bum and etc. So look, there's a whole bunch in there. I would also say, please write this one down. A huge one that dictates this one is your environment. Your what? So your environment. It's who you hang out with. So I always say this, the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with, you become. So you've got to be very careful around your environment. And one of the reasons this place works is we've got, a huge environment where people are encouraging you to go after your dreams and, hey, could you share them because I might be able to borrow one because I like what you said, right? So then that's the exact same, the exact exercise that we're going to do now. So in terms of your dreams for 2026, what have you got on your list, right? And you might be, if you're very new to this, it might be a donut, I've not even thought about it, and that's okay just to do a pass, right? And for a lot of other people, it'll be, well, how much time have we got? Because I want to play full tilt on my dreams in 2026. So I'd like you to share what some of the dreams you're, on the bucket list you're going to be looking to tick off. It doesn't have to be material, by the way. It could be health. It could be spiritual. There's a huge range in terms of bucket list dreams on what you've got on the list. I know I'm turning 50 next year. I've got one for every month going forward next year, even if it's something small like a date night, right? It doesn't have to be, I've got to jump out of a plane or anything like that unless that's what you want to do. So around your table, share a couple of the bucket list ideas and what you've got on your plan for 2026. And you're going to start with the person on your table with the cutest set of lips. Okay, if you would like to share one or two of what the bucket list dreams for you next year are, here's your chance on the microphone. Also, another good reason why you should be getting up now is that as soon as you make it public to 400 people, then you've got to go do it. Let's go. Who's going to share? Righto, one down the end there and that'll do us. Okay, you were there first. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Kira from the Joy Collective. And
Can you just pull it down a bit? Thank you.
And I'm going to Iceland to see the Aurora Lights.
Iceland. Okay, good. Give her a hand. Love that. We'll go along.
I'm Daryl from Rockhampton, support services. Yeah, we just quickly we spoke to Leverage leveraged me the other day and about how we're going to pull our business apart to reconstruct it to the bound forward for the next 15 oddball plus years we're going. So I'm going to do the same with myself. So I've given myself a goal over 3 months, and that's all happened in the last 48 hours. And it's really reflected that I've let some of my dreams go because people stifled, or I went away from them, and I'm going back to them. And over the next 24 months, I'm going to tick off at least 4 of the things that I'm going to do in our business.
Okay. And you want to share one of the 4 or?
Yep, I've got a property where I'm going to be doing some fantastic work with people with disabilities and kids in care, but also other people that have been through stuff like mental health, alcoholism, but I want to run events where they can tell their story, and I want them to be the hero on the night. So we're going to run a lot of events to get people in the community to come and see that there's a lot of people out there hurting.
Yep.
Let them tell their story and let them believe in and doing stuff like that so they can find a path for themselves. Yeah.
Yep. So I love it, Daryl. So it's a charity bucket list. I love that. Give him a hand. Yes, ma'am.
Bruiser, it's Helen. I'm from Skin Deep in Perth. It's since we started Mission Abundance here, I've been wanting to go to Uganda and every year I'm like, shall I, shan't I, can I commit, can't I commit? Anyway, this year I'm going and I'm on the farming thing, so I'm pretty wrapped. So.
Give her a hand. Well done, Helen. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Greg from Twinkle Getaways on Obi Mullaney. I guess for me, my big dream is to, since we've been in Mullaney 2.5 years now, is to actually purchase a property there for us to live in when we retire. So
yep,
that's a big one for this year coming. So looking at that.
Good. How many bedrooms?
For us, we're looking at 3.
Okay.
We'd like to purchase it now, so in 6 years' time when we retire, it'll be pretty much ours.
Have you defined exactly what the house needs to look like?
To a degree. For the first couple of years, we'd like to probably run it as a small business just so we can have a bit of another income stream.
Yep.
But yeah, just something that we can lock up and go away because we do plan to travel, so
Okay.
got pretty much a good plan in place.
Awesome. Give him a hand. Well done. Good job. We'll go along.
I'm Nadine from Nurse Next Door Fraser Coast. I jumped up here because I'm committed to getting my shit together and being able to go on a motorbike ride next year with you, Bruiser, overseas, and getting everything sorted. And for myself, actually putting my health, freedom and finance and living for myself and not others.
Okay. I love it. Give her a hand. But hang on. Could you just give me a little bit more of a definition, Nadine, on what getting your shit together actually means?
It's just like a bomb's hit my whole life, and business, family, everything is just everywhere. So
Yeah.
it's actually just getting, a default diary, stepping up on myself and taking charge of my own stuff and not doing everything for everyone else and just being a leader.
Okay. Yep. Awesome. Thanks for the vulnerability. Give her a hand. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Marie from 3 hours south of Christchurch. I retired 10 years ago at 55 from a long dairy farming career, and I had a portfolio that I lived off, and I was fucking bored. So now I've got this luxury lodge. I've got third tier finance. Hopefully I'll get some first tier finance in the next few days. And I've got no bookings. We've just gone live booking.com yesterday, and I've got someone from the Tourism Export Council who is mentoring me as well as Glenn. But my main focus is rather than having that drop in the winter, I'm going to have an orienteering car corporate package and attract people that way, and do some women's retreats and some couples retreats. And some of those will be people that deserve an experience like mine, so I'll do some donating there as well.
So more of a business bucket list to get this thing up and running and fill it up. Awesome. Give her a hand. Well done. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, I am Harmony from Anna's. Mine's a personal bucket list. Our son has been accepted to go to the UK next year for a football opportunity, so we are going to take advantage of that and have a family holiday, head to a few of our favourite countries, so Italy, France, and yeah, just do some exploring while we're there. So I think it's his passion, and we really want to support him through that. He's working really hard, training really hard, so yeah, it's really exciting.
Awesome. Love the combined nature of that one. Give her a hand. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Kelly. I have a Redback Ink tattoo studio in Rockhampton. I have a few, actually. So my first and biggest one is I don't even have a passport yet, but I have a big bucket list of places I want to visit. So Paul's holding me accountable, and I'm going to send him a message next week when I get my passport applied for. And I'm also going to step up more and be more of a leader and less of a friend to my team. And I'm also going to be doing a little bit of refinancing with my equity and hopefully buy some more property.
Okay, awesome. Love it. Give her a hand. Well done. Jenny, I'll stay with you.
Hi, Bruiser. I'm Jenny from Diabetes Complete Care here on the coast. Next year, I'm going to do a bucket list item and go to Antarctica.
Wow.
Very excited about that. And by the 1st of December 2026, I will retire, and I'm hoping to leave my business in good hands with the revenue growing.
Awesome. And your story, before we give you a round of applause, is an interesting one because essentially you started here with your business, but you were a full-time employee, weren't you?
Yes, with Queensland Health.
Yep. And so how many years did it take you to transform to be staring down the barrel of retirement, also, and Antarctica?
If I was still with Queensland Health, I would already be retired.
Right.
But we've had the business since 2018, so yeah. So I made up my mind last year that I was retiring.
Okay. Well, it's a great story. So give her a hand. Well done, Jenny. Thank you. Yes, sir. Who are you? Where are you from? What's the business?
I'm Abraham. I'm a dentist, and I'm from Rockhampton. And I'm just started the process of kicking off my personal bucket list when I turn 60 next year. So I'm climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, and I have set into a process of training. And today I got all my mountain gear. So I'm now 100% committed to it, and I'm going full tilt.
Okay. Love it. Great goal. Give him a hand. Well done. Yes, sir.
I'm Shane from Escaped. We own a couple of retail businesses in Gympie as well as Rockhampton. So one of my biggest bucket lists, I turn 40 next year, and I'm going over to New Zealand to actually visit our coach in person, and yeah.
So good. Love it. Bit of business you can ride off to.
Absolutely.
Give him a hand. Good job. Lucky last. Yes, sir.
My name's Fabian. I run a clothing company with my mum, and we've been doing it since 2017. One of my dreams, my ultimate dream, is to be the next Nike, the shoes, you know. So that's my ultimate dream, yeah. I don't know how long it will take, but we're trying. The reason I got up here is a bit of accountability. Like you said, I want to lose 25 kilos, so hopefully next time I get up on this mic, I'm skinnier.
Okay.
And another dream is to times 10 our revenue, so for the next year.
So good. So on your middle one there, so we're going to do this in the 2-day version, which is the Entrepreneurs Forum in June. I think it's June 28th. So that's 6 months from now. So would you like some accountability on the weight loss?
So lose half of that weight by then, you reckon?
Yeah. So what's the bet?
You tell me. I'm ready.
Well, I'll stay with Kurt. I bet him $3,000 to the charity if he wasn't there. Right, so that's going to our registered charity, not to me, right? And if you get there, we'll have dinner and talk about the next goal. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Give him a hand. There it is. Okay, so I want to finish the dream part with a quote. I'd like to get a pen out, please, and that is, if you're not clear on your dreams, how does the universe know what to give you? If you're fuzzy, if it's a one day I may get to something, that's how life's going to be. And that day, looking at and coaching people for a long, long time now, it just doesn't show up. So the clearer we can be, the more specific we can be on the dream, that's kind of where this is. And I want to just go over here real quick to remind the room. Some will have seen this, some this will be a newie. Is what we want to make sure that we access is our RAS. Our what, everyone? RAS. Now, RAS is an acronym that stands for Reticular Activating System. Reticular Activating System. And so this is a medical flip chart, right? Your reticular activating system is at the back of your brain stem. And the best way I always explain reticular activating system is think about a time in your life maybe where you got a new car, right? And you hadn't owned that brand or model before. And once you get the car, and then you're driving around town and that's all you can see, you start to see all of the same car that you are now owning and driving. Raise your hand if that's ever happened to you. And the question is, did the manufacturer all of a sudden spit out a heap more cars of that brand and model in your town that week? And the answer is no. The cars were there, but our RAS was not turned on. Another way to say it, please write this down, your RAS is your internal compass. And by going and documenting the outcome, starting with dreams more, it turns on it. You're then more aware of it. I bet you if I go to Jenny over there and asked her, are you seeing now more things that relate to Antarctica? She's going to say yes, right? Like, I'm sure she said it out loud and Facebook's heard her and now is putting every trip known to mankind on Antarctica. But just generally, I bet you she's more aware of the straits that she has to pass to get there, the animals that are going to be there when she gets there, etc., because her RAS is turned on Antarctica. So by being specific on our dreams and our outcomes turns on that device. So that's on the dreams part of it. The next part that I want to go to around outcomes is our what, everyone? Is our what? Goals. Now, for me, I always say goals are a dream with a date. Goals are a dream with a date. And I do think making sure that we're clear on where we're going next year, 2026, these goals need to be written down. We need to be clear on them. And I'll give you just a couple of sub-points here. I think if you're in a business, you got to know the number goals, how many sales, how many net profit, what's the gross profit, what does that need to be? We're going to hand out a plan now. It's going to be coming to you. It's in the portal, so you've got access to it. A lot of the people I coach are using this document and have done for many years. So we need to know the numbers. Who needs to do a better job on being more specific with the numbers and the goals of your business? Please be honest. Okay, so I'm going to say, good, maybe 2/3 of the room. And for the people that had a hand up who are the owners, I'd like to just give you a little kidney punch here with this one. is if you're not clear with the number outcomes, it's nearly impossible for you to inspire the team to go hit something if you're not clear on the numbers, right? And that doesn't need to be the whole balance sheet. It doesn't need to be on certain information that maybe is not important to them or they can't influence. But I do think you do need to be very clear on the numbers. I also think, whilst we're doing this part, is making sure that we've got some goals around our what? Our what? Our time. You know, how much time off do you want to do in 2026? How many long weekends? Where are you going? Because I know in my world that if I don't go and block that time in the calendar, what tends to happen, everyone? Fills up. Please write this one down. I won't present it, but it is in the portal in the time section. The law of vacuum takes over. The law of what, everyone? Vacuum. It's that vacuuming effect, right? I wanted, I don't know, a month of holidays, but I never got round to booking it. Therefore, it's always going to be busy. There's always going to be something else that filled that up, and then I get to this time next year and go, shucks, I've only done, 2 weeks of holidays, but I wanted 4, and that's because I didn't block it. Please write that down. I didn't what it? I didn't block it. So you need to block your time, which, when you do that, is the same as actually setting a goal or an outcome around it. And you've heard some great stories on the microphone today, and there's plenty more I might add that weren't discussed around what, everyone? With a bit of energy on that one, I promise you. Bit of wealth, right? So wealth is the investing side. You know, what's your super or KiwiSaver or your pension, depending on where you live in the world? Where's your, the commercial, residential property, shares, crypto, bonds, any of the wealth vehicles? I like what Warren Buffett says about wealth. Please write this quote down. This is the money that you make when you are sleeping. Right? This is the money you make when you're sleeping. So I'm good for business goals. We need them, but we also need, in my opinion, some wealth goals. Right? And what I find, please take a note of this one, is the more time you do in coaching, the more proportional weight and time you'll put on the wealth goal. So I'll explain what I mean there, and I'll give the stage as an example. First 6 months of coaching is this end of the stage right here, right? First 6, 12 months maybe of coaching, all I'm trying to do is get the business either profitable, moving normally, get some control on it, right? When I'm in my early days of coaching, do I have a lot of bandwidth and mindset to even consider wealth? And the answer is what? No, right? And as I go, I'm getting more mastery, right? I've already started to fix a lot of the areas of my business, and then you look at someone who's a lot down the track, they're going to be spending, maybe 40, 50, even more % of their time thinking about wealth. So it's this whole transition, right? And that's mastery. Please write that down, right? And everyone's going to be at different time frames, etc. How quickly you advance, how quickly you actually, and this is a big one, please write this down. For me, what dictates how quickly you move is the speed of which you implement the plan with your coach. If in the early days you're lazy or you just don't want to allocate the time, it's just going to take you longer. People who just get up and knock those plans over, those major and minor initiatives, they get there quicker, right? Because they're implementing all of the good solutions of how you grow the company. Does that make sense, everyone? Say yeah. Okay, good. So I'm interested to go around your table and ask you about what your goals are on these three categories right here. You know, what are your goals next year? What have you set a time goal, etc.? Again, if you've not been in this room or, you know, you've just started your coaching journey, it might not be a lot there, and that's okay. I know we've got some people where this is like literally their first event. Don't feel overloaded. If you, hey, I'm still trying to work it out with my coach, right? Because, so you know, if you've got an experienced people on your table with an inexperienced client, they were you just many moons ago, right? So be okay with that. So I'd like you to discuss those three. It's going to be about 45 seconds, maybe a minute a person. Around you go, start with the person on your table. By their very looks are going to be first to the bar this evening. So there'll be a huge amount in all of those. If you think about 400 people, even if you populate just one in each of those three categories, that's like 1,200 goals. So for time, I'm not going to get everyone up on the microphone. But who needs to do more work before you get to Christmas on one or two or all three of these, please? Raise your hand. Okay, good. Can I get you to write this down for some coaching from stage on this area? Do not go to Christmas without them penned, right? If you let yourself off the hook, go to apathy, I'm too darn busy, whatever, do not go to Christmas without them penned, without them shared to your team, right? I know with a bit of elbow grease on this one, you'll be able to get there. Can I get an agreement by show of hands who's going to do that? Righto, good. And I would say most of us have got a session or two or more with your coach. Coaches, you should be demanding this from your clients, so can I put that to you guys and gals over there? But you shouldn't be going to Christmas without that. Okay. We're going to keep on moving on this one here. What I'd like you to do, please, is to draw an arrow down to the bottom left, right? And the bottom left has got different areas of how we're going to get there. And the first one that I want to talk about is what, everyone? Nice and loud? Org chart. What's the right org chart that's going to get me to the promised land in 2026? Have I really thought this one through? So to start with, everyone, please write this down. We need an existing org chart. Right? So if you haven't put pen to paper on this, we got to see what the team looks like as of today. Right? That's a given. And sometimes, you know, it might be how long you've been in coaching, you haven't got there yet, etc. But I think where it gets really interesting, and it's funny, I've come out of coaching a bunch of people the last few days, I would say that maybe 20-25% of the conversation in this area is not just on existing org chart. It's about what type of org chart, everyone? Future. So by me growing into it, you know, as the company grows, what does that mean? What area gets stretched? Where am I going to need, you know, if I'm going to double production, am I going to need to double the amount of producers? Now, what does that mean on other areas of the company? You know, do I need more salespeople? Do I need more marketing people? Write this one down. What outside help do I need? Do I need outsourced? You know, there's a lot of companies out there in our preferred partners which I would highly recommend you get around, right? That's why they're out there. Everything from bookkeeping to marketing to finance to offshore people. Where do I need? And a bunch of others. Accounting, God, that's a huge one, right? Legal, the whole thing. So I'd get around to all of those preferred partners, and even if you don't need e.g. a new accountant or an outsourced or a HR or whatever, I'm going to say you need to be taking a business card and a brochure, right? Because you never know when you're going to need one. 6 months, your accountant, goes south on you. Well, you got a piece of paper right in front of you that you can go call them. Who thinks that's not a bad idea, running companies, to have contingencies? Please raise your hand. Okay, it's huge. So the future org chart. So the people, especially in growth mode, write this down. You should have at least one scenario of what that future org chart is. Not just an existing one, right? You need multiple a lot of the time. I know we had Josh Linwood up here, and there's many others I might add who do this. I asked him, I work with him directly, and lovely wife Megan. So we were at 20 million, and I said to him, well, let's do, 25, 35, 40, and even a $50 million org chart. And here's where it gets interesting, is if you then can combine that org chart with some of the assets over here, and there's a few of these assets. Number one is budgets and cash flow forecast. And I'd like you to draw this, please, is the relationship on these two here. What's the org chart versus the budget, and how much cash do I need? Right, I promise you, going back to Joss as the example, going from a $20 million org chart to a $40 million org chart has a huge impact on the amount of people that he needs to employ and the budgets and the cash flow forecast that's going to support that. If you look, who knows the 7-footer flow chart? Raise your hand if you've seen that document. There is a little point on the first column, and I'd like you to write this down, is these need references so that you know which one you're looking at. I know this has been a problem in EBS, is someone shows me an org chart, then I go and say, is that the corresponding budget for that org chart? And there's no reference between the two of them. I'm like, well, I don't know, does this org chart relate to that one, etc.? Who's ever had that problem where you go, I don't know which one I'm looking at, right? So they need a reference. Here's number 2. Please write this down. What's the capital needs of the business next year in 2026? Do I need to introduce other capital? Personal money? Do I need to go and raise some money? Lending? What are the needs? And obviously you can't do that, number 2, if you've not done what the cash flow forecast is. So they're related. Number 3, plant, property, and equipment, PPE, not safety stuff, right? What does my plant? Do I need extra machinery? Do I need, a lot of people in here are growing their footprint. I know I've joked for many people around our head office in Maroochydore. When we first moved in there, we bought 3, rented 1, and I thought two Suite 29 and 28 that would see me out to retirement. Right now we own 9 on the top floor, and I'm looking to buy another one, right? Because I've needed more property for org chart and to be able to go up here. Does that make sense, everyone? Yes or no? Yeah. Okay, good. Another one that needs to be on the hit list. Is technology. Does my current CRM system, is it going to get me to where I want to go to up here? Does my current accounting system going to get me there? Inventory control. And, you know, a lot of the time, if I could say this, am I using my technology to its fullest extent? Now, I know everyone's got different, well, not everyone, but a lot of people have got different CRM systems that you use, right from a spreadsheet through to all the different types that are out there. You know, EBS, we use Zoho, right? Did a lot of research on it, etc. I sent the team down to Sydney to a Zoho conference. Darren, our new CEO at EBS, left me a message after they'd spent 2 days with Zoho, and they said, Bruiser, we're using under 1% of the power of this thing. All right, we've got to go and get more coaching and develop this, etc. So be it down here, org chart, or the assets, be it budgeting, cash flow, doing more work on the capital that I'll need, plant, property and equipment or technology. If you had to pick one or two down here on the bottom of this to do a better job being clear of for 2026 outcomes that you're aiming for, what is that? All right, this is just to dump it in the middle of your table, right? This will be the last probably workshop as it relates to the flip chart. What area in these down here do you need to be more clear on and do more work on so that you have a better 2026? Start with the person on your table with the blankest look on their face. Last chance to share something on the microphone. What's one area or two areas down here you need to do a better job in 2026 getting clear on, defining? On the microphones, I'd like some new people before I start choosing. Just jump up. Let's go. Who's up first? Thank you. Yes, sir. Who are you? Where are you from? What's the business?
Andrew Birch from Mackay. Absolute Enterprises is our company. And one thing I really need to
Can you just come in a bit more? Cheers.
Work on a bit better, or is org charts, future org charts with budgets and correlating evidence altogether.
Yep. To be able to do that in your world, Birchie, how many hours a week, a month on average do you reckon you're going to need to allocate to be able to do that work with your team?
I'd like to say 10 to 20 hours a week, probably half my time.
Yep.
Looking to the future.
Yep. Okay. So it's a chunk of time.
Yep.
All right. Let's go block it. Give him a hand. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. We'll get one person. Thank you, Kylie Brash. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Justine from Envision Family Support Service in Biloela, Central Queensland. My daughter and I are in a business together, serving people with disability. So for us, we're fresh with EBS in August. Our lovely coach is Amanda. So for us, we've recognised we need a budget. So we hit the ground running 5 years ago. I was just on my own. Mackenzie joined in, not planning on any of this to grow to what it has. So yeah,
yep.
We've recognised this year we need a budget. We need to look at it. We've got a lady who does all the business stuff for us. So
yep.
Me standing here today, I have no idea what our funds are looking like, but we're learning.
Yep, we're doing it on the bank account rather than on budget and what have you. So, and look, that's very natural. And, you know, I would say, look, just to give you peace of mind, I would say 2/3 of the room started their business and it just kind of got going, and then they end up going, crikey, I do need to do more in a certain area on this flip chart. So
absolutely.
Thank you, well done. Give her a hand. We'll go down long.
Hi, I'm Pat from Talltech up in Noosa. I guess I have to say that I have only been with Talltech for 2 weeks. What was spoken about around our table was cash flows, budgets, but also the use of technology, not just the 1% of what we're already using, but are we overcomplicating things? Are we trying to put too many fingers in dikes?
Yep.
So that we can be more efficient and better time managed.
Okay, but the overarching theme was more in number one down here in the assets, more cash flow budgeting. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, I think that was the predominant feeling from around the table, was getting a much better handle on, as you've just said, not managing from the bank account balance,
Yep.
but actually having budgets and plans that again meet the org chart.
Yep. Awesome, mate. Thank you. Give him a hand. Well done, Nikki. I'll stay down with you.
Nikki from Humming Home.
You're going to have to pop that thing down. Just say it again, Nick.
Nikki from Humming Home Services, cleaning and gardening. We haven't really budgeted, but the size of our business now probably needs some HR help. And fresh out of our board this week, talking about Policy Day. I think we need a big review of our policies and make sure that we're covering all bases, reduce the risk.
Yep. Awesome, Nikki. So you're sort of saying, you know, the org chart side, HR side is a gap for you guys now, and you need to do more.
Yeah, and budget for that too.
Yeah, and a budget for that. Yeah. And look, we're not launching it today. You've mentioned it. Is a lot of people are exposed on the policies that they haven't got written. So in time, EBS is going to be putting out a whole suite of every policy known to mankind so that we can make sure we tighten that one up and not get hit by an iceberg. So who'd like that one in the goodness of time? Good, we're on it. Give her a hand. Thanks, Nikki. Yes, sir.
Hey everyone, Brett from Northside Stump Grinding. We've got a lot of work to do on this one because we've done no work on this one. It's becoming apparent that we really need to knuckle down and spend a good chunk of time on org charts and getting everything on paper.
Yep, good man. And look, I appreciate you being up there and just owning that. And you know, who's your coach?
Kyle. We've just taken on Kyle.
Righto, good. Well, he'll whip you into gear on all of this side, so good luck implementing it.
Thank you.
Give him a hand. Well done. Yes, ma'am. Who are you?
It's Bruiser, Kylie Brash. We have some car washes and a rural property. Off that org chart, I would say we need to spend a lot more. We're very good at planning 5 years out and getting those metrics, but I'd say we need to spend a lot more time on our org chart of what this looks like right now, but how do we grow this machine and what it needs to look like. So we just made a statement over here at our table that 2026 was the year of leverage for me.
Okay. Would you like me to buy you a badge or a hat or something with that on it?
Absolutely, Bruiser. Be accountable. Thank you.
Well, there's a bottle of leverage gin out the...
You're talking my language.
Yeah, righto. I like that theme, you know, and we do that a lot ourselves. Actual fact, it's a good point to write down is what's your theme? How are you going to name your theme for 2026? You know, has the year got a theme? EBS's theme for 2025 was all around evolve, right? We wanted to evolve, you know, so I like that. It's good.
Thanks.
Give her a hand. Well done, Kylie. Thank you. Okay. We are going to finish. Before I do, I want to give you the finale for this flip chart. Is I find myself, when I'm clear on what my dreams are, what my goals are, when I've defined current and future org charts, I know the monetary side of the house, how much capital I need, plant, property and equipment, tech, right? Essentially what I've done here is define my what? My what? Strategy. And so I'm going to say here, whether you do this with your coach, whether you do this with your team, however you do it, I do think running through that, and that's where I start, by the way. I started up here quite purposefully today, right? I got to know what my GPS coordinates are, before I know what I'm going to need to go get it? Who likes strategic map? Say yeah. Okay, good. Number one learning out of the session this morning, it could be the celebrate the wins, it could be strategic map or a certain part of strategic map. Just don't say strategic map, right? Because there's a lot of variance to it. So which particular part to strategic map? So around your tables, this is literally 15, 20 seconds a person, not a long one. You're going to be writing whilst you're talking. Round you go, start with the person who needs the most amount of caffeine on your table. Okay, we're just going to do a little popcorn on the learnings. If you haven't put your hand up or been to a microphone, here's your chance. Biggest learning out of that last section, what do you got?
Dream bigger and clearer.
Dream bigger and clearer, thank you. Couple more. Got to write it down. Which part? The whole lot, right, thank you. What else? This side of the room, what do you got? RAS, love that, thank you. Couple more. Future org chart. Last one. Know whose numbers? Thank you. I know my numbers. Good.